Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the December 28th regular board meeting for Elk Grove Township to order and ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I will ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Trustee Saturn.
Present.
Trustee Narodowski.
Present.
Trustee Ingraffia.
Present.
Trustee Keenly.
Present.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Present. Okay, we have a quorum present. Any public comment? There's no public physically here. Any public online? Yep. All right, I'll just give somebody, anybody online, if you'd like to raise your hand to make a comment, we'll just give you a few seconds to do that. Nobody? Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Are there any items any board member would like removed from the consent agenda?
No.
Okay, hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Nuredowski, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Keenly. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Saturn.
Aye.
Trustee Narodowski.
Aye.
Trustee Ingraffia.
Aye.
Trustee Keenly.
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Okay, item E, we have discussion and potential action on meeting minutes. You have minutes from the November 23rd regular board meeting and minutes from the December 7th special board meeting. Any questions or proposed changes to those minutes? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve both of those sets of minutes as presented?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Saturn. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Ingraffia. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Saturn.
Aye.
Trustee Narodowski.
Present.
Trustee Ingraffia.
Aye.
Trustee Keenly.
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Okay, there are no presentations this evening. Reports, elected official reports. First up, Assessor Caroselli.
You have my written report, and what I've done here is give you a year-end report for the year 2020. Obviously, it's been one that has presented us with all sorts of new challenges that have caused us to reflect and come up with more efficiencies, particularly in dealing with our taxpayers that were not able to physically come into the office. We utilized remote systems that gave them access to the information that they needed to file appeals and exemptions. So we felt that we dealt with the challenge extremely well. I think one of the things that needs to be focused on is the number of people that we served. And I think the numbers are rather staggering. You've got them in your, you've got them in the report, but you also have to remember that during the time that we were open for appeals with the Cook County Assessor, it wasn't a 30-day period. Simply because of errors that had occurred with the county, we were open an additional 2.5 weeks, which certainly put a certain strain on our budget. But from that standpoint, we answered that piece of adversity also. We really have no idea what the type of traffic that we're going to have in 2021. The county, via the county board, has voted to roll over exemptions, and that includes the senior freeze. Well, at this point, that presents some particular problems for people whose income fluctuates. So we're waiting word from the county on how they want us to handle that. So I'm sure that as this shutdown continues, we're going to be facing additional situations that we've never faced before. But I am very pleased to say that I believe that my staff and I will be able to meet those challenges.
Any questions on the reassessment?
As far as,
Any comments on that?
yes, I do have comments on that. Our property owners did receive notices from the county assessor that there was a COVID factor placed upon their assessed value, therefore lowering it. I would like to say that that was across the board, but what I saw after seeing several of these letters and looking at the data in the county system, some people got more of a reduction, some got less. I'm concerned about that because at that point, it seems like it's more of an artificial manipulation and not good assessment practice. What I would like to see happen is more transparency with this. If in fact you're putting a factor on an entire township, then that same percentage should be held to all of the properties. So I'm concerned about that. What it will do is people got larger reductions if they had never appealed their assessed value in the last year or so. If they had done that and did get a reduction, they got a smaller reduction. I find that curious in that it was so unevenly handled. So my concern is there. Obviously, the county has done what it's done, but I do want people to realize that, you know, if your assessed value goes down, the formula is that the tax rate goes up. And we await to see exactly what the Illinois Department of Revenue is going to do regarding this factor. They may choose to raise the equalizer also. So it does not necessarily mean that your property taxes will be reduced.
Any other questions for Connie? Okay, hearing none. Clerk's report. George?
Yes, I submitted a written report. It contains information on current FOIA requests, also filings we've done in terms of particularly in terms of the levies and regarding the primary election and the consolidated election in April. Primaries in February, the consolidated is in April. There are candidates, a full slate, Republican slate for the township offices, and at this point, there's one Democratic candidate for a trustee slot.
Any questions? Okay, hearing none. Highway Department report. Art?
I also submitted my written report, and at this time, really don't have anything to add to that.
Any questions for Art? Okay, hearing none. Supervisor's report, other than what I presented, the reports that I presented in the consent agenda, I have nothing additional to add at this time. Okay. With that, can I have a motion to approve the elected officials' reports as presented?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Nuredowski,
Second.
seconded by trustee Keenly. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Item H, there is no correspondence. I, there is no old business. Under new business, we have several items. The first of which is 2020-13. Just like we've done with other bids, we're formalizing it in a resolution. So this is just the resolution awarding the purchase of 2 buses for the township to Zimmerman Enterprises, doing business as Best Bus Sales. Any questions about Resolution 2020-13? Okay, hearing none. Can I have a motion to approve Resolution 2020-13?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Ingraffia. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Nuredowski. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Narodowski,
Aye.
trustee Ingraffia,
Aye.
trustee Keenly,
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay, Resolution 2020-13 passes on first reading. Moving on to item 2 under new business, Resolution 2020-14, the 2021 Trip Transit Grant and Service Agreement. This is something we do every year through our arrangement with PACE and, I'm sorry, not, yeah, I'm sorry, no, this is with PACE, I'm sorry, I'm not,
Yeah.
Transit Authority, sorry, yep. But yeah, sorry, just, it's with PACE, but yes, with PACE and several other of our neighboring townships. Sorry, had a little bit of a brain
So is
seizure
it
there for a
PACE-
second.
PACE
Yeah,
of the-
PACE is the
Pace and the-
service provider,
And the other
yes.
townships,
Yep.
okay.
Okay. So any questions about this, the agreement for 2021?
What actually are they providing again?
This is for transportation beyond township boundaries. For township residents that need to get to medical appointments beyond our township boundaries, let's say to the naval base in North Chicago or Hines or things like that. There's specific places that have been identified as places that individuals need to get to. And there was no, before the TRIP program, there was no way for us to easily or use tax dollars within the township to move or to transport individuals beyond our borders or so far beyond our borders that this program was put into place through the Regional Transportation Authority Act. So,
And this is a program that involves, you said PACE is the service provider, and then
and it's
several.
a state grant. It's a state grant provided to us, Hanover, Palatine, Schaumburg, and Wheeling Township.
Okay, so this is an agreement with those townships. Okay.
All right. Can I have a motion to approve Resolution 2020-14?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Nuredowski. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Keenly. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Narodowski,
Aye.
trustee Ingraffia,
Aye.
trustee Keenly,
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay, Resolution 2020-14 passes on first reading. Okay, now as we move into the tentative budgets, you have the tentative budgets. We've moved, we've started a little bit earlier in the last couple of years. Obviously, back when I first became supervisor, we shifted the budget process earlier to ensure that we could pass a budget by the end of our fiscal year so that we could move forward without a continuing resolution on April 1st, the start of our fiscal year. Because of processes we put into place to have a first and second reading on all new business, we've just moved this process up a little bit earlier, just in case we need to take a subsequent vote. We can still accomplish approving a final budget before the beginning of our fiscal year on 4/1. So you have the tentative budgets for the town fund, for general assistance, that's included there, and then the sewer fund and road and bridge. You also have information about the grants that different agencies have requested, those agencies and their requested amounts. And with that, typically what we've done, I'm happy to go about this we can go through it in depth, but the purpose of the tentative budget is to lay out, based on previous spending, based on what we anticipate spending in the upcoming fiscal year, to lay out an initial budget for the board to review. And then based on that, we'll come back next month and discuss. We'll take our first vote on the budget. That will lay on the table for 30 days and voted on in February. And then a subsequent vote, if needed, will be taken in March. Does the board want to go into the tentative in any detail, or do you want to spend the time next month after you've been able to do more of your due diligence on the presented numbers, come back and have a more in-depth conversation next month? Any thoughts from the board?
Sounds like they want to delay it.
You want, you want to delay, do you want to, I wouldn't say delay, but you want to, like I said, take the month to do a deeper dive into these numbers and then go and cover the budget in detail at the end, at our January meeting?
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. All right, well, it's there. Like I said, as you always do, as you go through it, just reach out to Paul and Erica. They will get you any information that you need. And as you have in front of you now, you have your actual numbers from previous budget years, so you have those numbers to compare, identifying outliers that usually help us figure out where some of the issues could, some budgetary issues could come up. But contact Paul, Erica, or myself, well, obviously for Connie's budget, the assessor's budget, I would contact her directly. But any other items, please, like I said, Paul, myself, or Erica, and we can get you the information that you need. All right. Takes care of items 3 and 4 under new business. There are no executive session matters. So if I could have a motion to adjourn, that'd be great.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Saturn. Is there a second? Seconded by trustee Nuredowski. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.